Hello, this is Michael Iantosca and Manny Ramirez. If you check out Michael right here, he has a tendency to have his weight and more over his front leg instead of more centered in his body where it should be. If you look at Manny here, I mean, very centered. Everything's very, very equal. So Michael, I think you should start just a little bit with your, a little bit more being more well balanced. Okay, we'll go to the next point. Is right before your loading point. This is your here, right here. Check out Manny's of 84 degrees. About 79. He has a little bit more tilt. Not bad though. And here, but your leg right here, Michael, that's coming out this way. It needs to be coming down a little bit. So then you get your hips right here a little bit more in, and you'll have more power, more driving power, just like for pitching. You'll have this be able to get those hips through real well here. If you look at Manny here, when he gets in his loading spot, right after, this is where he generates all his hand speed. Now, Michael, when you land flat-footed. You got to land on your balls of your feet. So when you land on flat-footed, now your angles, you should have a 45 here. This is what he has. You're flat-footed here. If you take your eyes, this is not bad here at all. This is actually pretty good. You're more well balanced now. Your hands here need to be good height. This elbow is what's could help you a lot better if you had that's 45 there. Manny's at 37. If you were at 37, you'd be at right around that area. So not much difference there. And Manny's right at 37. But that'll help. That hand will go. That bat angle will go to 37. If you get this elbow right here, if you see Manny's is right here, yours is right here. It needs to be in this area here, and then that will get your hands at the bat angle a little bit better, and closer to 37 degrees anyway. Okay, after that, you watch how he swings. It stays in that circle the whole time. I mean, he's very well balanced. So Michael. Okay. Your head kind of drops out of that. If you see it here, you're landed. It stays in there pretty good, but back here it's coming out. So I mean, you're that much out. So you're about 4 or 5 inches out of that circle. That's the key, is just staying in that circle the whole time. Take out your back angle. Let's see here. That's not bad there. Michael, right here, see how your V is. If you look at Manny's, let's see here. right at 90 degrees. Now, Michael, you're coming in through here. Pretty close to the same spot. But if you look at your arm, needs to be right here. Oh, shoot. Your arm right here, if you look at Manny's, is right. Oop. Your arm in this area here should be a little bit more straighter. You got a bend in your arm there. If you look, your arm's bending like right through here and then going this way a little bit. Instead of Manny's is absolutely straight. That'll create more hand speed if you get that elbow a little bit more straighter, and that'll be whipping those hands through the zone a little bit quicker. So if getting back to your angle there, it's not going to be a true angle, but if you're like at 104 degrees if you have that arm straight, or 100 degrees if you have that arm straight. So you're only 10 degrees off. That means this has to be angled. If you straighten this arm out, this bat will probably straighten up a little bit that way where it needs to be, and then you'll be at that 90-degree angle. Your eye level, stays pretty good. Look at Manny's. Yours, see how far it moves back at the point of contact? That means that's the same thing out of that circle when we drew the circle around your head. The same thing. That's that much movement. That's a lot of movement. So by keeping your head a little bit more still, then you're going to be more consistently hitting the ball square. It's just that movement's also throwing your weight off. Your weight's going away from the ball at the point of contact instead of going through the ball. And one key thing here, Michael, too, if you look at right here at or coming through the zone, all this whole area, one key thing is his foot. Look at yours. Yours is almost straight, and by being straight, you know, I mean it's almost flat on the ground, because your sole of your foot is on the ground. So I mean and it needs to be pointed up. By it being still on the ground like that, you're locking your hips, and your hips aren't able to make the full turn. So, and that's probably the main reason why you're falling back, because your hips can't get through the ball. So that's where by getting this foot up, it's going to actually let your hips go through the zone, and your head's going to stay stiller, and all that weight transfer is going to go right through the ball. Okay, now so through this whole little process here, I want to take you through it. So you're going to go this in this area here, really feel it, get your leg down in this area here just a little bit, your knee up a little bit higher, and that'll create some more torque for your hips. Landing, you need to land more on the balls of your foot. And once again on your hands, this elbow here needs to be in this area here, and your hands, that's right here, needs to be behind the elbows. So when you move that elbow here, that hands will be there, and by that turn will create more hand speed, a lot more torque. As you're coming down, this is what we talked about, your beat, it was, this needs to be a little bit better. So if it got straight, it'd be right on target about. But this is, I think this is going to be one of your biggest keys, is right there, because that needs to be up in the air. And that'll help you get your hips through. You won't be falling off the ball like you are. Your head won't be coming back at the point of contact. It won't be, yeah, that's not bad there though. But it's coming out of that circle for one thing. It's only a few inches to work with, so it's not that bad. You'll be able to correct this pretty quick. That much movement, it's too much. So once you calm that head down, and this is going to help right here. That's going to be one of your key. Let's see the plane as you come through the zone. See how that's your landing point. Now if you take the area, it's not bad at all. I mean, I think you take that middle area there, that's not bad. I mean, you're coming off that line, but you're not off by much. And I think once you just calm your head down just a little bit, because I think when you bring your head back, it's causing a little loop in your swing. So once you get that head calmed down, but this right here is your key, because if you get that up in the air, I think that's going to make everything else smoother. Your hips are going to come through smoother, your head's going to be a lot more still, and you're going to generate a lot more power.